Well, hello traders. Welcome to today's edition of the Trading Hub. Okay, so let's get down to business. Right, so today is the first day that I'm streaming live on Facebook Live and also on my YouTube channel, which has literally just started. I have 2 subscribers, so make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel down below. You know what to do. If you're on Facebook, welcome to the group. If you're a new member of the group, we have 1,500 members in this group. It's basically a group where we can all trade together and learn together. Now, I am obviously placing a trade today. If you are listening now and watching, you will notice that there will be a live trade taking place, and I'll also go through the trades that I placed last week as well. There were some winners and a couple of losers as well. So let's crack on. Normally, obviously, you want to be looking at the news to start with. So let's start with Forex Factory. Okay, we have 15 minutes to the bell. So this is very important. Very important. You know what's going on in the markets. You start by looking at the news. It's best to do your news analysis on a. Oh, let's go over there because if you haven't noticed, I'm actually in a corner of our bedroom. We are currently doing a refurbishment downstairs, building an office for Samrock Capital and the nutrition business as well. And yeah, I mean a big refurb, so my office is just here for the moment, so excuse the mess in the background. You know, soon it'll be done. You know how these things go. It's like Ariston, isn't it? Like a washing machine, because it goes on and on and on. Anyway, right, so what we got here, Tuesday, the October the 11th, on my post yesterday on socials, the US were actually on a public holiday yesterday, and it's Columbus Day. So that's when Christopher Columbus found America. Amazing day. So anyway, so there's not much going on in the markets yesterday. However, today is a new day. Now the US have woken up a couple of hours ago. The bell is due to go in Wall Street in 15 minutes time. Let's see what's on the agenda, on the news, and then we can. I already have my trade ready to go. I know exactly what I'm going to do with it. But let's look at the news first and see what's going on. So I normally look at the reds. So really, when you've got a red on Forex Factory is my favourite place because their calendar is pretty good. And if you want to dive into more detail, it's like today at 7:35 p.m. London time, Bank of England, Gov Bailey speaks. Obviously, that's in my post with significant news for the week. Now you can find out a bit more information about that on here. But it's always a good starting point to get your mind into gear before you place a trade, because there might be something that'll alert you, and a reason why you shouldn't really be taking the trade, or a reason why you should be taking the trade. But you don't know really what the news is going to be. So it's very important you wait until the news actually comes out, and then you can make the decision then. So, for example, let's say it was a crude oil inventory. Do we have one anywhere? No, nothing this week. But if there's a crude oil inventory here, which is normally 3 p.m. London time, if the supply has been cut, and the forecast is higher than what the actual level of oil barrels counted is, then in theory there's less supply, so it could drive prices higher. Now, obviously you want to wait for those results before you actually place that trade, and just see what happens. See if the market's settled down. You could have trades set up already to go one way or the other, but the bottom line is you'll never know. Anyway, so getting on to the GBP, obviously got this news today, and that is it for today. There's nothing else going on really that's significant news for me. If you're watching Japanese yen, for example, you might want to be looking at, or the Swissy, might want to be looking at these oranges. I mean, we've got dollar here, USD, FOMC member Mester meet, bit of a tongue twister there. FOMC member Mester speaks. I mean, it sounds a bit like FOMC member Pester speak. Yeah. Anyway, so really, that could be something that's gonna maybe move the US dollar one way or the other. And what normally happens is if we're forecasting in for a green, well, there's no forecast there, so there's no data coming out, so it's just a conference, a discussion is taking place. So we have pound tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. GDP MM. So this is a big deal. This is a big deal for the pound. So it's you see in September the forecast, the previous was minus 0.6, the forecast was 0.3, and the actual was 0.2. So that's bad news. So that's bad for the pound, you see. So in the morning we might have it's forecast to be 0. So who knows? I have to wait and see. But if it's a red, it's going to be bad for the pound. If it's a green, it's going to be good for the pound. So that's interesting there. Because for me, US dollar, as you're probably aware, I'm a big gold and silver trader. Also stocks as well, US stocks. Hence, quite a few of the stocks I placed last week. Like I said earlier, some losers, some winners. Got to make sure your winners are bigger than your losers. And you're going to have losers, but hopefully your first trade will not be a loser, because that's going to potentially knock you a little bit. But let's have a look at this. So we've got USD FOMC meeting minutes as well tomorrow at 7 p.m. We're also on a Wednesday at 7 p.m. So that's a very good time to see what's going on in the markets. Thursday we have CPI data. Okay, so that's pretty interesting with inflation data. So we have to wait and see what happens there. The next reds on Friday as well. We have core sales, retail sales, and prelim UOM consumer sentiment as well. And then on Saturday, actually, we have some pound. Gov Bailey speaks again. So some significant news for the dollar for me. That's what I'm interested in, really, the dollar ones. Obviously, I'm in the UK, so the pound is relevant, very relevant for me. But for my trading, it only becomes relevant when I'm withdrawing from my trading account, withdrawing profits or withdrawing funds or funding an account. Because obviously the exchange rate at the moment is almost 1-to-1. Anyway, let's move over to the charts because time is marching on. So last week I placed a trade in my last video, MRK. So this is Merck and Company. Okay, so Merck and Company are health technology, pharmaceuticals. Now they're on the Nasdaq, New York Stock Exchange. So I got in around here. I am in profit. I have 4 positions on. I probably bit off a bit too much actually last week. In hindsight, I should have gone in smaller trades because my strategy has indicated a number of trades to take place in the since that particular last Facebook Live a week ago, or last Wednesday I think it was. So you know, it's you can see the pre-market is actually going to be a bit lower. So the pre-market is almost identical to the closing price from Friday. However, on Friday, I was in profit a considerable amount on that particular trade. Okay. So, in terms of the other trades that I am in, let's just go through the list. I mean, we could let's have a quick look at the stocks that I took last week. So, obviously I'm waiting on gold, I'm waiting on silver. You know, some quite nice cycles here on the daily chart. So it's very fundamentally driven, gold and silver, and dictated really by the dollar. And you can see the dollar has gone up. And maybe we're going to see a bit of a, you see I drew this shoulder here. So if this is a shoulder and this is a head, then maybe this is going to be a shoulder. I think at some point the dollar's going to fail. This is not dollar against your currency, not dollar against any other currency. It's basically the dollar index, so it's dollar strength, and they do use a series of currencies to dictate this particular price. However, it is generally the strength of the dollar against the world. So I'm expecting maybe, you know, one of these shoulders here, possibly. So I could possibly move that up, but I won't, because at the moment we haven't got a drop. Now if it does drop and it pulls and it breaks this level here, then technically it could go a lot further down. So it all depends really what happens with the Fed, you know, and whether they use quantitative easing, start funding the economy, you know, with free checks to everyone in the States. Hopefully they do, because I mean inflation is hard for everyone at the moment, and it's important that the government actually look after everyone, you know. But from a trading perspective, from a trading point of view, I want to see the dollar devalue, because when it devalues, that's when we get opportunities. That's when gold will rally potentially, you know, and treasuries as well affect gold and silver too, but mainly the dollar, because I'm in the dollar. Now if we're looking at gold against the pound, like I was mentioning earlier, different currencies, you see it's a totally different chart because the pound is devalued. It's not loading. There it is. So it's a totally different chart, you see. So, I mean, look at that. I mean, gold actually against the pound touched the, I think they're all-time highs. Yeah. Oh no, well, that's an all-time high. Look at that level there. So, well, it's not level, it's like literally a touch. It's a ceiling. So, gold against the pound, and the reason why that's happening is because gold is stronger than the pound. Okay, that's the level really. Well, round about there. Right, so okay, so this trade then I'm going to put in 4 minutes, depending on the look of the charts. I mean, last week we had Merck, not Mercedes, but the pharmaceutical company, a DHR, which I didn't get into actually. It's not actually on my broker account. Guild, as well. That was another one. Guild Sciences. Did I get into Guild? Let's just have a look. I'm just trying to look for my my other chart. Obviously, my main PC for I'm on a Mac at the moment, you see, and you can't get MetaTrader on a Mac. So I'm just looking over here, and trade's currently running. So they've got natural gas, Virgin, Merck. So GE, okay, so Guild, yeah, Gilead Sciences. Okay, so I do have a trade on this. I'm in the red. A little bit. I mean, actually, in fact. So where is? Okay, so LOW. Okay, so it's Lowe's Company, New York Stock Exchange. I didn't get into Lowe's. COP, that's another one. Okay, so I did actually come out of this last week. Chevron? Yeah, Chevron Corporation. Oh look, it's just opened. Right, okay, so just, I mean, PayPal as well is another one I actually lost that trade. So Boeing. Boeing is the trade I am putting on shortly. So let's just get that trade. Okay, so it's trade alert coming. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own homework. Make sure you don't copy me. But it's just an idea. I'm just giving you an idea. That's all. Giving you an idea of a trade, that what I'm trading. Okay. So let's go to Boeing. Boeing, where are you? Okay. Okay, so new order, chart window, right, okay, so let's have a look at that, template. Okay, so Boeing at the moment, you can see what's happened. Okay, so obviously it's jumped up. I am going to take this trade, but I'm not going to take it yet. I'm going to wait for a better price, okay? You can see what's happening here. So this is Boeing, it's in the planes, it's in the military equipment. I traded Boeing quite a lot before. My trading strategy has actually indicated that Boeing is a buy, a strong buy. Okay, on the 15-minute chart and new order. Okay. Okay, so my stop loss is going to be at, I've already analysed this, you see, so 128 into 8. And my take profit is going to be at 142. Okay, so that's a trade that I've just placed. Okay, should have waited a few more minutes, you see. But I plan to do it. I plan to buy it. My strategy stacks up. So if we're looking at the MACD, give you a clue. I mean, this strategy is obviously for my students on the Trading Hub Training Academy. But I've developed a strategy here. Okay, so let's see what happens with that one. We've also got currently in profit is Merck and Company. Okay, so you can see on the is that Boeing? Okay, so in terms of gold and silver, now so we've got quite a strong level here. This is silver. You see, I've put that level across here. It's actually bounced off that price there and gone back down. So okay, there's another potential touch around here. Maybe the next support is around here, so 19,250. So in terms of technicalities and technical trading, we might see, I mean, it's very fundamental driven, but we might see a bit of a bounce off this level or this level, or maybe it'll come down, touch this level and go back up. But we've got to wait and see on that. Again, it tends to follow gold, whereas gold tends to go the opposite way to the dollar. And okay, so gold here, so it's a daily chart, so you know we might see a bit of a bounce off this level here at 1660. This is dollars, because there is a level here technically. Okay, it's not fitting my strategy at the moment, you see, with gold. You know, and the strategy really, okay, well, natural gas is looking a bit stronger. It's another trade I'm in at the moment. Now if you zoom out and you look at natural gas long term, you know, we are at the bottom of, or round about the bottom of these peaks. So I've put the daily chart on here. Oh, sorry, the weekly chart. So it could be slowing down. You know, I got in around last week actually, so in here somewhere. So, you know, it could come lower. I think really with everything that's going on in the world, natural gas is something that is potentially, for me, a good trade. I remember, I am not a financial advisor. I am literally showing you the trades that I'm doing. So make up your own decision and do your homework. And if you want to know more, obviously send me a message and I'll be happy to help if I can. So dollar will get a bit stronger, you see. This is a weekly chart. So what's going to happen to the dollar? We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, I mean that's it really. That's my trading done for the day. I've done all my homework in the background. You see platinum's dropping quite a bit actually as well, but it's dropping. You know, we've got higher highs here. You know, there's a higher high than this area here. So if it does turn around, there'll be a buy opportunity around here somewhere. Technically, but again, it's a metal, and metals are, or commodities in general, are pretty bullish for these months of the year, because we're in the quarter of the year, the final quarter of the year, October, November, December. You know, they are the 3 months Yep, we have a comment there from Facebook user. It's in a language I don't quite understand. Do apologise. If you could put it in English, that would be brilliant. Then I can answer your question. So, Coinbase is another one that I'm in. Now, Coinbase obviously had a massive drop. I'm sure you can imagine when the drop took place. Same time that we had the situation with UST and Luna, and crypto in general, because everything followed it. So yeah, I am in the red with this. You know, in fairness, I should have had stop losses on these trades, but they are. I believe in Coinbase. You know, Coinbase will eventually be back up to those prices. But when you see a stock and it's launched at that price, it's unlikely it's going to go lower. But then obviously Coinbase is a lower than this mark down here. These lows. You know, there's a significant level there. You see, so obviously it's fundamental driven, and technicals are a waste of time when it comes to fundamentals. There's no requirement for a technical analysis. But in terms of day trading and quickly getting in and out trades, yeah, so the Boeing trade is not doing that well. Okay, so you can see the trade there. You can see the trade actually live. Obviously I've placed it on my other computer there. I mean, if we zoom in on Boeing, so yeah, just above me now you can see the actual trade itself that's live. So it's not looking good. So we could just watch that. Obviously I've protected my risk. I've got a stop loss on there at $128. So quite a tight stop loss. You know, so we've got to wait and see. Really, we should just be leaving that, see what happens. You know, potentially it might come down, stop me out, and then go back up again. Who knows? But I have to wait and see. I mean, obviously the first 15 minutes of after the bell going, it's not looking great for that. MRK, okay, that's looking a bit better. Okay. Majority of stocks are dropping at the moment. I mean, look at this one, PayPal. Actually got stopped out of PayPal with a small loss last week on Friday. I did quite well out of this actually. Chevron. Now I sold Chevron on this bar here. I just saw a bit of indecision. And yes, my take profit was a lot higher. However, I just got that gut feel that I needed to come out. So I made some profit on that. It's coming back, but you see when stocks gap overnight, the price jumps. They don't always carry on going the same direction. It's like a balloon. When you blow up a balloon and you let it retract. So you think about you blowing up the balloon overnight when the stock market is closed, and then when the bell goes and the market opens, it retracts again. So you see what's happened here. You know, the price has dropped down, and then because it's a low price, there's lots of more buyers down here than sellers, and the price has gone up a bit. See? Now MRK, that's looking nice. So yeah, that's looking good. Okay, BA is, or Boeing is at 131. Okay, so remember my stop loss is at 128. So it's tight. Let's put a line on there. 128. So I have to see what happens with that one. So yeah, quick look at crypto before we log off. Okay, Ethereum against Bitcoin, so that means Bitcoin's a bit stronger than Ethereum at the moment. On the 4-hour chart, that is. Bitcoin's been a lot stronger than Ethereum the last week or so. Bitcoin dollar, okay, so I mean technically we've been sitting on this level around $19,000 for quite some time now. Yeah, I mean there's sort of like a level somewhere in there. There's a few levels really. Let's look at the daily chart and work out where the level is. Can't really see a clean level there, but it's around the 19,000. Okay. So it's broken through. It's sort of just faffed around here for a long time, and then it's broken out, and then it's failed again. But it's failed probably because we're talking about dollar, Bitcoin against the dollar. You see, you know, this is why crypto against the dollar. I mean, if you look at Ethereum against the pound, will be stronger. It's not really, is it? Not really. It's very similar sort of. Yeah. So Ethereum against the dollar. Yeah. I mean, technically, there's quite a few head and shoulder patterns here, but you know, again, we're a bit of a level around the $1,200 mark. So let's put a level in here. Okay, probably a bit behind that. There you go. So if it does break that level, then technically it may come down a bit lower. So we just have to wait on see on that one. Right, Solana, again, similar patterns. Okay, Cardano has dropped lower, but you can see there's quite a big spike down here. So what that really means, there's quite a few buyers down here. There's a lot more buyers than sellers down here. Now, that is like looking very nice technically for if this bar closes just a little bit higher, or even like this really. It's been down and it's come back up again, and it's settled at that price. You see, so that to me is pretty good. For a buy, possibly. Matic. of a mess. See, Matic's not doing badly in comparison to what happened in June. Sheep. Okay, so again, you've got to bounce off that possible level here. Dot, same level. Now, Ripple has been doing very well. So Ripple, or XRP, you see it's back above the 200 moving average. So technically, this is looking very good for Ripple. Ape. Same sort of thing. You see, they're all doing a very similar sort of thing. They've come down and they're sitting at a significant level. Luna C, Luna Classic. Now Luna Classic, I've actually got a bot running on Luna Classic at the moment. It's doing pretty well because with these bots, see, they just buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell as they go along. They make profits and losses, little losses, but the losses are smaller than the profits. So this is why it's very bots can be very good. We're actually testing out some other bots at the moment on obviously on a demo account, just to make sure they work before I go live with them. I won't say any more about them, but if we can, well, there's a possibility we might be able to get these bots out to you guys if things go well. But we're in the testing process at the moment. So yeah, I mean that's it. We've got any news to be say? Nothing today, was it? So it was just GBP tonight at 7:35. Okay. So that's crypto. Let's have another look at what Boeing's doing. Okay. So, you know, you see 10 minutes ago, you see that red bar and you think, but it hasn't really gone down that much. Possibly just, if you look at what's happened, obviously the price, probably look at on the 1 minute chart, 5 minute chart. So this is today, isn't it, when the stock actually opened? Well, it was here, I think. So yeah, that was 150. Okay, that's where the stock opened. Obviously this was the rally on the 5 minute, you see, and then there's a bit of profit taken last week on Boeing, and then today it's just sort of faffed around here. So you never know, it might come down and stop me out, or it might go on and take profit. So at the moment it's looking quite good. Let's have a look at MRK. Yep, MRK is looking good as well. Okay, so remember, what's the time? The time is nearly half an hour from the bell. So that's a 15-minute chart. So this bar, if this bar closes in 7 minutes above here, that's very bullish technically. Tesla, what's going on with Tesla at the moment? Same sort of thing. Big drops. The thing is, when a stock drops like that, you see these gaps. This is why it's scary with Tesla. You know, I've been in big Tesla trades before, and yeah, it's been a bit of a hairy moment because it's heavily traded. It's large market cap, so you know it's worth, as you know, Tesla is worth a lot of money. And if you'd bought, this is why you've got to be very careful with these sort of trades. I mean, that's a 15-minute chart, but if we look at even on the 4-hour, so if you bought here and then you see a profit overnight, and then it comes back down and goes further, you see, so, and it keeps on going down. Again, it's at a strong level technically, so there will be a number of traders out there looking at these levels, analysing the level. Probably there, it's the best place for it. Yeah, around about 210. Good. So now PayPal, you see, this is the beauty of stop losses, really, or why stop losses are so important. Okay, I lost this trade on Friday. I got stopped out, but especially with stocks and foreign exchange, you need stop losses. It's very important because unless you're buying a very small stock, if you're trading it, this is, I mean, look at that. Look how much it's dropped today in the last half an hour. It's a long way up, short way down. Remember that phrase. But there's obviously a reason why PayPal I mean, you can look at all these technicals, and you can this is TradingView as well. If you want a TradingView account, I'll put my link in the bio on YouTube and also on Facebook, and feel free to join the referral scheme. TradingView is probably the best charting software I've ever seen, because you have got everything you need. Now I have a broker that is linked to this account, which I will start using, and we'll start growing a fund together. Gold. You can get lots of different indicators. Obviously, the more you pay, the more indicators you can get, but my advice to you is to use, well, less is more. Don't use too much, because if you start using too many things, it gets confusing, and then one thing says one thing, one says another thing. So design strategy, or follow my strategies, and tried and tested, they work, and stick to it. If you place 20 trades and you get 15 wins and 5 losses, the problem is if you get the 5 losses at the beginning, because you'll be losing, which will knock your confidence, and it's not very nice. But if you get the wins, and it's also very important to let your trades run. So with Boeing, you know, it's going to be very easy if it goes into profit to take those profits. But quite a good way to do that actually is to have two trades on at once. So you have your risk, however much you're going to risk for that particular trade, and then what you do is you split that risk in two and you put two trades on. So you have one trade on which gives you take profit is potentially a 1-to-1, and then the second trade could be a 3 or a 5-to-1, and then you manage your stop loss. If the price goes up and hits your 1-to-1 profit, you've won one of the trades, and then you know you can move your stop loss for the second trade up to break even or just above break even, so you don't lose on the fees from your broker. So yeah, I mean, gold, again, technically we're at this level. I am heavily, well, I'm a heavy gold trader, so heavy metal as well. But it's, you see the price is, you know, it's dropped quite a bit over the last couple of weeks, but we had this massive slingshot on Friday, a week, when was it? So what day were we on? Monday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Okay, so from the previous week ago, last Thursday, Friday, we saw a big rally in gold. This is a weekly chart. Okay, but it's just pulling back. So this might be the level it's found. We'll have to wait and see. Again, natural gas. You see it's broken through the 200-day moving average. So technically, it's not looking good. I got in here. But fundamentally, natural gas, everything going on in the world, might have found a level. It might now pump up. I do like the way that this trades though. If you look at, okay, it does the same things, it comes down as it does when it goes up. But look at this rally here. So once it goes really nicely. So, you know, you imagine this is happening, you're watching it. This is a beauty, and the importance really of having your watch list and just watching. Because you could be watching an instrument for weeks on end. You could just be watching. You know, and you're seeing this, and every time you get one of those red bars, you think, oh, it's a little bit cheaper. And it goes up a bit, and then goes down. Now, when you start getting a slightly different bit of price action and stronger green bars, this is when there's a possibility it's actually started reversing. Okay, so that's a pullback. But look at the pullbacks, they're all very similar. So you see the pullback is obviously the other way round for the shorting. So it pulls back and then it goes around like that, a bit in this direction. And then it drops down, it pulls back, and then it drops down. It sort of pulls back, it's not really pulling back much. You could look at it here and think, oh, yeah, that's going to start going back up again, but it doesn't, it breaks further, pulls back slightly, and then it breaks further, and then it goes further. And then you get that those two big green bars there, and then it pulls back, and you get the green bars again. Okay, so you see that's a okay. It's not a clean cycle, but it's a clean cycle for natural gas because it looks similar to this, but the other way round. And then what we're seeing another bullish cycle. So really, normally you should be having two cycles. Let's just assume that's a nice cycle because it's natural gas. That's the way it looks. So really, you want to be getting in here. And look at that price action. Lovely low test bar there as well. You can see that. Beautiful low test bar. So it's not really on the apex, but it's natural gas, and this is what so it's all about reading the market you're actually trading. You don't want to be trading like this for gold or for silver or for stocks or foreign exchange or anything like that. You want to be watching what's going on with this Boeing. Yeah, Boeing is it's not really breaking that level there, but well, we'll see. If it's a loser, it's a loser. I have to accept that. I placed a trade. I knew what I was doing when I did it. I planned it, and I will not feel sick if I lose. The trouble is, I won't actually feel great if it wins either, because, because you've got to take your emotions out of the trading. And this is why I quite actually like having a dollar account, because it's not, because my native currency is a pound, so when I'm trading the dollar, it doesn't really feel like real money, because obviously it is, and you can exchange a dollar for the pound, but in terms of leveraged high risk trading that I do, it is actually I make better decisions because I'm trading in the dollar, basically. Now, I'm not recommending you get a dollar account or a different account to your native currency, because at the end of the day, if you're going to be trading to make profits and withdraw them and to enjoy the profits and live, your native currency is obviously the currency you want to be trading, because then you can withdraw and pay your bills and live, and that is the reason for doing it. But at first, if you are a beginner, if you're experienced, then great, you know what you're doing. But if you're a beginner, then you're better off not trading any real money for a long period of time. But we teach all this in the trading hub. So this is what natural gas did, and as you can see, it's doing the same thing every time. It's pumping up, and then suddenly it changes. So that would have been according to this the strategy of buying on these low test bars, that would have been a buy, and you'd have a stop loss under here. Same with these, and you would have been stopped out of that one. So you would have won a number of trades on the way up here, so you'd be about 5 or 6% up, and then you'd be about 4 or 5% up after the end. And then you've got to change your mentality. Do you start shorting? Because it's doing the same thing the other way. I mean, just following one market, but then it's going up again, you see here. And it's sort of going a bit sideways, and then it's coming down. And there's some different price action, you see. You see the price is suddenly sort of dropping off. I mean, we could look at that as a buy, but again, it would be a buy, but with a stop loss. If you're going on price action alone. Now, I obviously put this thumbs up a number of weeks ago to buy around here, but I didn't. I didn't because of this bar here. So this day, the price just, this is called an engulfing bar. So this is engulfing this seller's bar here. It's engulfing this buyer's bar here. So the price has gone up and then it's just literally just tanked, come further. So this is why I didn't buy here. I bought around here because, you know, we've got a low test bar, we've got a level, which is the 200 day moving average, and then the price is just sort of sitting around this level here. So we'll see what happens on that one. We'll see what happens on gold. Where's MRK? So Merck is okay, so we just leave that one for the moment. Now GE, okay, it's not looking good. PayPal is just falling off the edge of a cliff. So I'm glad I got out with stop loss around here. And then Boeing is also looking not great. But like I said earlier, if this is a losing trade, then maybe MRK is going to be the winning trade. And then my winning trade is a lot bigger than my losing trade. So if I lose X amount on Boeing and I win 3 times as much on MRK, then I'm still 2 up. And that is the power of risk to reward. Again, it's a strategy. It's a way of trading that we teach within the trading hub. And so yeah, it's not looking good either. Virgin Galactic, you see stocks are not looking good at the moment. Get a few. So anyway, whatever happens with Virgin, whatever happens with Merck, whatever happens with Boeing, we shall see. I'll post it on the group to let you know when they stop and when they take profit, or whether I just get out of break even, depending on what's going on with the trade itself and the particular markets. Okay, let's conclude today's video. Thank you for joining me. Obviously it's recorded, and please, if you're watching this in YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. There's going to be lots of these videos going out in the future. This is the first one when I've got my technicals set up with my mic and everything. Again, sorry about the background. The next one should be in my office for Samrock Capital, which is being built as we speak. Builders downstairs doing an amazing job. And yeah, and that's it for today. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day, and remember to stay safe. Thank you.